Blessings all. We're here. We're getting all situated. I've had some people message me that they are making their way on to the live. So I want to give everybody a couple of minutes, but welcome. Welcome, because I know everyone isn't always watching this in real time. And so sometimes you're just getting a video and you're like, she's waiting and waiting. But I'm allowing some people to come on. They've been very patient, and I am very grateful. So, welcome to this week's Moment of Harmony. As always, I am so happy to be here and to be able to do this healing engagement with you. This moment is a part of a 32-week series entitled A Matter of Moments, which will also be a book at the end of this entire course, where you all can be able to do some healing homework, where you can work in your own circles, in your own groups, or with just your very own self with a workbook type of experience, so we'll have some exercises in it, as well as all the material we've talked about, or all of everything and the information and everything that we put into this entire process. So thank you for being a part of that. Peace, Mama Yatali. It is so great to see you always. Peace, Octavia, Mama Sakurta, because the love there. Thank you all so much for that. Like I was saying, so this is going to be a, hi, honey, how are you? This is going to be at the end, this book is going to be about for us to be able to do some practical works on our own. And it can all be a part of your self-care healing process. So whatever it is you do for yourself, jog, meditate, work out, kickbox, Sunday family dinners, whatever it is, you can add right on to that once a week with a virtual moment of harmony, once a month with an in-person moment of harmony, and definitely at the end of the course, a book that you can work on in your own time that recaps everything we talked about in this 32-week series, but something you can move with at your own pace and at your own leisure. So I'm so excited for that to be able to be, and for you all to be, for you all to have. So again, we are here in this series, A Matter of Moments, and we are coming out of a 25-week series not too long ago of a series of affirmations. And in A Matter of Moments, we are breaking down those very vital and important, essential moments of life that we overlook, that we misuse, or that we just don't even know how to embrace them. And we are breaking them down here once a week, one at a time, going through them so that we can make the best out of our own lives, one moment at a time. So today's moment is entitled The Moment After. The moment after. Now, this is going to be a very maybe pulling, triggering type of moment, because we're going to be talking about what happens after those huge moments in our lives, the most transformative moments, the most influential moments. What is happening? And we're going to focus on right after that. After the worst has happened, after the best has happened, after what you've been afraid of or what you have been looking forward to happen, what do we do with that? What do we do with that moment in order to make that moment a moment towards all of the greatness in our lives? We're going to get into that today. So I want to first start off thanking all of my moment members, all of the moment members. To become a moments member, all you have to do is inbox me, DM me if you live in the DMV area or in the Baltimore area more specifically. You are welcome once a month to us meeting in person. And sometimes it's a virtual, us being able to be in a Zoom and check in on each other spiritually and be able to go through what it is that we're needing to go through. And most of the times it's us going out in some type of bonding activity where we can talk and release together as a community, as a people that are in the like-mindedness of healing and getting ourselves together. So every month for our moment members, we have a theme of every month. And so every theme comes with a what is it called? A harmony original. It comes with an original quote. And that theme, we go through it and how it applies to us in our life and where we are. So in this month of July, we're going to recap some of the moments of this, of these last couple of months. And it's really going to be a repack and a refocus. So I look forward to you who want to join in. Peace. I just shouted you out, my love. How are you? We're going to be going through being able to what is it? And the salsa curtain. She done threw me off. All the loves and all the smiles. Thank you so much for your messages, Mama. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna take those and kind of repack and refocus, and that's what July's in-person moment is gonna be. And at the end of this, I'm gonna let you know what the repack and the refocus is going to be about. So I look forward to seeing you all there for those in-person moments, all those moment members, and all those that want to get in. Now, back to this week's moment, the moment after. The moment after that, which is what today's subject is about, is so important and is so powerful. It's okay. I love you so much. It's so important and it's so powerful because there's so much that happens the moment after change takes place. A lot of times there's so much focus on the event. There's focus on the death. There's focus on the divorce. There's focus on the losing of the friendship. There's focus on the actual event that is taking place, when really that very next moment, there is a new you that needs a new and immediate process that needs to be moved in a very conscious and intentional way. And a lot of time we miss that. We miss that moment after everything has changed. When you get back home and it's silent. When you get into your space with just you and it's not the letters and the phone calls and it's not the check-ins and it's not busy at work. It's you sitting with what has happened in your life and it's you coming to terms with it where you are. And I'm saying that moment is one of the most critical, crucial moments in transition. And that moment gets missed, it gets grieved over, it gets talked over, it gets ignored, it gets pushed down because that moment is full of so many feelings and realities. And if we aren't conscious, and if we aren't intentional about how we're going to move through the moment after, that moment then becomes another part of our pain. It becomes another part of our trauma and not a part of our healing. And today we want to talk about how to make that moment work for us in our healing process. So the first thing that it comes when we're talking about the moment after those disastrous moments, like I just spoke of, the moment after that death, the day after the funeral, the day after the phone call, the day after you're fired, the day after you're violated, the day after your spouse walks out, the day after you fight with your friend and you're no longer friends, the day after you realize that something or someone you've been connected to and tethered to no longer is a part of who you are and where you're going, and the day after it all happens, the day after it all takes place, the day after when the smoke clears. This is the moment in life that I'm talking about. Everyone talks about that when that smoke clears. And we also talk about that phoenix that rises out of the ashes. There's a moment before that phoenix rises. There is a moment when there's a pile of ashes, and then what's next? And there's that space in between that allows that phoenix to rise. There's the space when the smoke clears. And we're talking about that moment, how that moment can be a healing moment. It can be an empowering moment. It can be a transformative moment. It in fact, can be a make or break moment in your healing process for how you heal, for how quickly or how powerfully or how impactfully your healing process will be on the positive side of things. So, the first thing that I want to say when it comes to my first point in that moment after is that that moment after presents a challenge. There's a challenge. You're sitting there with your new self. You're sitting there in this new reality, and you're sitting very much in a space between who you were and who you are meant to be. You're sitting in a space between where you can go and where the Creator is trying to take you and what you've gone through. So you're in a very vital space, and that space comes right after a challenge. The challenge to let go, the challenge to accept, the challenge to receive, the challenge to understand, the challenge to move forward. So there comes this challenge, and I am saying that in that moment after, one of the first things we need to do is we need to charge this challenge to change. Charge your challenge to change. So when this happens, you see that things are pressuring. You see that things are crushing. You see that things are difficult. You see the conflict. You see the change happening. You feel it. So what you do as a masterful, like we talked about magical moments, the first moment in this series, magician, as the magician in your life, the first thing you do is you charge this challenge to change your life. That's in that very next moment. And I'm telling everyone, there is a moment. I can remember after my brother was murdered, and after that whole series where you kind of, all those moments where you kind of blank out, going to identify his body, going to, helping to plan his funeral, dealing with the emotions and the feelings of family members. And it was so crazy. But there's a moment. Peace, Mama Charmonique. I love you. There's a moment after when it's quiet. There's a moment when the smoke clears. There's a moment when your realization has sunk in that this is real, that this is happening. And how do we utilize that moment? We go into ourselves and we charge. Hi, brother. I love you. Yes, peace, power, and prosperity. I love you. And how do we go into that moment? We charge that challenge to change. We get and we sit with ourselves and we say, look, if it's going to be this way, if I have had to go through what I've had to go through, if I've had to survive what I've had to survive, if I've had to walk through, make it through, crawl through the unthinkable, then what I'm going to do as an authority over myself, as authority in my universe, as an authority in my existence, is that I am going to charge this challenge to change my life. Okay, so you took something. You got something I was working on. You got something that I was depending on. You have something that I loved and that I was connected to. But you're not going to just take it and leave me broken. It's not going to just go away and I'm just going to be sitting here as a pile of a sadness, a puddle of my former self. That's not what's going to happen. If this challenge is coming, because I can't stop it, because change is a part of the seasons. If the change is going to happen, what I am going to do is I'm going to challenge this change. Peace, love. I'm going to challenge this change. I'm going to challenge this. I'm going to charge. I'm all talking to y'all and myself. I'm going to charge this challenge to change my life. I'm going to charge this challenge to change my life. Okay, you took what it is. Peace, love. So happy to see you. You who I was waiting on too. I'm going to charge this to change my whole life. So if this is going to be I can't walk back up out of that. You cannot bring people from the dead. You can't revitalize friendships or relationships that are supposed to, that were seasons. You can't go and take back things that are meant and written in your story before you even got here. These challenges were put into place. You cannot go back on what has happened, on this pain and this hardship and this. And sometimes that's the hardest thing for us to swallow, is that we can't go back to yesterday. We can't go back to last month. We can't go back to last year. And then when that moment comes, the moment after the tragedy, we are stuck because we just want to go back. I want to say that in that moment, don't even think about going back. And it's hard because you loved your loved one. It's hard because you loved your friends. You build with this job. You build with this career. You put in time and energy and investment and sacrifice into this situation or this circumstance. What do you mean, Mama Harmony? Don't even think about going back. The challenge has come. The break has happened. The separation has taken place. It has happened. And I'm saying that we can sit in it and we can sulk in it and pretend that we can go back. But we would only be fooling ourselves, because life is going to keep moving on. And we don't want to get stuck in trauma. We don't want to be stuck in denial. We don't want to be stuck in depression, because what is on the other side of our change is incredible. It is the divine promise on our lives when we came here and decided to be great individuals. So the moment I decided to be great, my destiny was great. My destiny is great. The moment I decided I am not going to live this way, I am not going to behave this way, I'm not going to do things this way, I immediately, as the master of my destiny, as the magician in my life, I immediately set forth a path of my destiny being great. Now, it does not mean that tragedy and challenge and trials are not going to be blocks in the middle of this road to grow me more towards the level of where I have to be. I'm not going to just say, let it be great, and I wake up and be great. That's not the way that growth works. Growth is a process. You 9 months in a womb before you open up body and push a human life into existence. I'm saying, and this is the way life works. So I am going to say that, look, the moment I decided that I am going to be greatness and move within my greatness, a great destiny flourished on the other end, because I am the master of, I don't control just this moment. And this is the whole point of this moment after. You don't control just this moment. What you do in this moment controls the next moment, and it dictates the next moment, and it dictates your moments to come. And I'm saying it takes one moment. You know, big ups, big love to Victoria Swift. It takes one moment for you to decide the course of the rest of your life. It takes one moment for you to decide the greatness that magnetizes to you. So you make up your mind, regardless. And I don't want to say regardless like it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm going to say in spite of like it doesn't matter, because it's all braided into this beautiful process, even the pain. So I'm going to say, you have this destiny that you are setting out for yourself, that you have spoken into reality, and it is there. In your future, if you talk about existing in the future, the present, and the past simultaneously, what we do, then right here in this present, I can change my future and I can revitalize my past. Meaning that when I make up my mind that my past was useful, that it was necessary. Fantasia has this beautiful song called Necessary. The moment I make up in my mind that that abuse was necessary, not that I deserved it, not that it was supposed to happen to me, but that it was necessary for the calling I have on my life. Once I realized, I changed my past. I revitalize the meaning of my past, and the moments of my past, I embrace it differently, and it changes. It does something different to me. It changes in the way of how it affects and impacts me. So right here in this moment, the present, the most powerful moment you have, the most powerful moment you have in your life is the present. Right here in this moment, I can make up my mind to change that next moment and revitalize and mend those moments. Can't go back. Can't walk out of that room. Can't not drink that drink. Can't not talk to that person. Can't not date that person. But what I can do is I can change my perspective and I can embrace my present in a way that my past becomes powerful. It becomes a powerful force that catapults me into an incredible future. And it doesn't have to be an anchor. And it doesn't have to be a sinkhole. And it doesn't have to be quicksand. But that's what it's been when I don't utilize it in the way that it can and should be utilized. So I'm saying when we talk about that moment after, we talk about that next moment, we're saying that we are the friends that checked in, that you all are by yourself. The funeral is over. The judge has declared the trial is over. These things have taken place and now it is just me. It is just me. I am sitting here in this hospital room, or I am sitting here in this bedroom, or I'm sitting here without this spouse or this friend, or I'm sitting here in those that are sitting there in a jail cell. You're sitting there, and now you are charging your challenge. I'm not going to be falling victim to this. Now, I can sit here and I can feel sorry for myself. I can focus on who I used to be, or I can take on the mission that the Creator has given me to move into where I'm needing to go. Because if I made the decision to be great, where I'm going is great. Where I'm promised to be is going to be wonderful. But I can stop myself. I can say that this death stopped me. I can say that this divorce stopped me. I can say that this diagnosis stopped me. I can say that this sentence stopped me. But really, I'm in a moment where I can decide if I am going to stop myself. There are people who lost their hands and their feet. Are they going to stop themselves? They lost their vision. They lost their hearing. Are they going to stop themselves? They lost everything that they have. The moment after the house catches fire, the moment after the car breaks down, there's a moment where you say, like, the material things aren't moving, but I have the ability to move myself and everything around me. And so in this challenge, I am going to charge. I'm going to charge this challenge to change my life. Here I am. It's done what it's needed to do. So now this is, you know what? This is gone and this has happened and this has taken place. Now challenge, I'm sitting here as the magician of my life and I'm saying, let's get greater. Make me greater. If I got to deal with this, let me change my life. Change my life. If I had to sacrifice that, if I had, they're always accusing the Illuminati of a personal sacrifice. People sacrificing their parents or their loved ones or some family member for the greatness. Now, I'm not saying whether all of that is real or not. That's not my stance today. What I'm saying is the ideology of collateral beauty, the theory of that different type of exchange with the universe is real. It's real. You took something that I was depending on. You took something that I was using, that I was needed and connected to. Now I'm going to charge this challenge, change my life. Restoration, restore, rebuild, and make me better than I was before this took place. So that's going to be the first step in the moment after. The moment after, that next moment when you're sitting like, what now? What now? Who am I now? Where do I go next? What is this? What is this new life? This new life is the time for you to say, I charge this challenge to change my life. That's the stance I take today. I charge you, challenge. I charge you, challenge, to change my life. I gave you something. Now give me something. I did this. Now let's move forward. So if you got that, then I must gonna be stronger. If you took that, then I must gonna be more focused. If you took that, then I must gonna be more disciplined. I must gonna want it even more than I want before you. That adversarial, low vibrational energy that feels like you thought that you did something. You did something. You charged me to charge this challenge to change my life. My life is changed. And one of my favorite lines, I think I brought this up before, peace, love. I brought this up before, is in the movie Shaft, the one that is it Shaft? Yeah, Shaft, that Samuel Jackson did, right? Because I don't know all of those. Peace, Ashe. The one that Samuel Jackson, the Shaft that he did, he has a moment where the police department kicks him off the police department. You know, he's like their number one detective type of thing. He kicks him off, and I think I brought this up in a moment before, but he kicks him off the police department. They kick him off, and he continues to solve this murder and this crime that he has going on. And when he apprehends one of the suspects, he gets them all jacked up. You know, he got them all roughhousing them, and they say, you know, Shaft, you're not even an officer anymore. You know, because he got him all jacked up. He said, you're not even an officer anymore. And he says, you know, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? So he pretty much alludes to, now, do you think that makes me safer or does that make me more dangerous? And that's what I'm saying. And I love that line because then the bad guy has to think like, dang, when he was an officer, he had restrictions around him. And now he have no restrictions and he might be worse than he was before. And that's what I'm saying right now in this moment. The worst can happen to you. The nightmare can come true. And all of those things can be taking place around you. That last thing you needed to happen can happen. But does that make you, that's what he said, does it make me more dangerous or less dangerous? That's what he said. Does that make you greater? Or does it make you worse? So in the midst of that moment, it feels worse, right? Because I'm waking up in this new reality. I'm waking up without this person. I'm waking up, a new truth is being revealed. A new light is coming into me. So I am saying it feels worse without this person. Feels worse without this opportunity. Feels worse in this new way of life. But then I have a moment when I can sit and say, they took some things around you, right? Took away some of your innocence, took away some of the cloudiness, took away a little bit of your bunnies and your rainbows. And you got to say, does that make me more dangerous or less dangerous? You might have took it because you thought you were disarming me. You thought that you were going to make me more vulnerable. Thought that I was going to be a little bit smaller. But let me tell you, now I don't have a reason. I'm a rebel without a cause to slow down. I'm a rebel without a reason to be still. I'm saying now I got something to prove because of what you made me lose. What I lost. I got something. I got to go harder now. So I'm saying this is the moment when you look yourself in the face and you say, like, look, they took my job. They took my money. They took my this. They took my job. They did this. They did that. They said this about me. They threw me away. He hurt me. She hurt me. They hurt me. This hurts me. Does that make me more dangerous or less dangerous? And it makes you more powerful. Does that make me more powerful or less powerful? More powerful. This is what happens in that very next moment. That moment after, more powerful. Well, I don't feel more powerful without my husband or my wife. I don't feel more powerful without my friends. I don't feel more powerful without my old house and I'm downsizing. Or I don't feel more powerful without this degree that I was going towards. I don't feel more powerful, but I'm sitting here to tell you that the moment you charge that challenge to change your life, you will create that power. That Phoenix has that space. The smoke clears and there's a space in between the smoke and the Phoenix. And in that space is that moment after. That's the choice you make. That's the decision you make to say, hey, you done did what you need to do. Now it's my terms. this deal, that this collateral beauty, this negotiation, I'm saying, okay, you got that. But this is what I need to never have to deal with again. This is what I never want to face again. The next time you got that marriage, and it hurt. You got that marriage. But I'm going to tell you something about this next marriage. I'm going to tell you where I'm going with this next one. You got that job. But I'm going to tell you about my next career move and my move towards entrepreneurship, because I'm charging that challenge, that one, to change my life. So understand that when you go through such a challenge, such a tragedy, there are some tragedies that change you completely. I mean, you just become a pile of pieces. Now, when we start a healing process, we put those pieces back together. But for anyone who has ever put back together something that's been broken, if you've ever glued back a statue, if you've ever glued back a plate or something, it is never going back the way it was. Even if all the cracks aren't visible, it does not look the way it looked initially, because you had it when it was unbroken. And a lot of us want to be unbroken when something has shattered us. And it's the biggest mistake you can make in the moment after. If you are broken, put yourself back together. Allow love and life to tape you back up, glue you back. But do not expect to be the unbroken version of yourself, because you were broken for a reason. And so in that reason, you have to embrace this part that is broken in me. Well, embrace my brokenness? What does that even mean? That sounds like accepting that I'm sad. That's not what I'm saying. That sounds like accepting that I'm hurt. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying accept that you are in a transition and that you are changed. Ooh, my whole thing just came down. Well, that was a sign from the Creator. Accept that you are changed, that you are in a changed place. There's a old Negro spiritual, so they call it, but a gospel song that says, I know I've been changed. And we talked about that in the last moment. I know I've been changed. So you are to accept that you've been changed. And that's what I'm saying about, well, what do you mean accept that I'm broken? Accept that it's different. Accept that it's going to look different. Accept that life is going to feel different. And when you accept it, we're saying that we're empowered in the difference of ourselves, the difference of our being. So we're going to say that when you have that moment after, you have a new place and a new position. You're in a new place and a new position. Why is this so important, Mama Harmony? Because a lot of time after tragedy has taken place or any major change, maybe it's not a tragic change, maybe it's marriage, maybe it is elevation and promotion to being a boss. Maybe there's something else. Either way, it's going to challenge you, because growth is challenging. Positive and negative energy will use it all to grow you. So I'm saying there's the moment after huge transition takes place, and one of the greatest mistakes we make is not acknowledging that we're in a new place, ashe, and a new position. We're in a new place and we're in a new position. And a lot of times we're having old behaviors, old mindsets, old patterns, and old desires. Old desires. You better look this new person in the mirror and say, look at you. Look at your new body. Look at your new face. Keep on trying to desire the 20-year-old version of yourself. Keep on trying to desire the first year of that marriage. Keep on trying to desire that old self and see if you are not understanding that change has happened. And instead of me being mad at change, I am charging challenge and change. I'm charging it to change my life. I'm not mad at it. I'm acknowledging that I'm in a new place and I'm in a new position. So the moment after something tragic and triumphant, something huge happens to us, one of the first things we try to do is go back to normal. Go back to what we are familiar with. Go back to what we are comfortable with. And it hurts us. It hurts us. The universe is pushing us towards change and transition. It's showing us. The signs are everywhere. The feelings are everywhere. Our family is being pushed towards change and transition. And we want to go back. And I'm saying you in a new place and a new position. So let's take this thought for a second. Let's take the thought that we go into, you get a new house. You get a new house, you go into a new house, you have all of your boxes, your U-Haul gets unloaded, and you're in this brand new space. You never slept in it, you've never been in it before. And you're in this new space. The last thing you're going to do in your new space is to wake up, go to work per usual, move throughout, going in the kitchen to cook dinner, going to go lay in your bed. Why? Because you're in a new place. You can't do that anymore, right? You can't just go lay down, go about your old habits in a new place. You have to first unpack. You have to unpack. You have to rearrange. You have to adjust and reposition your new space. You have to feel out your new space. You have to acknowledge your new position. You have to be somewhere else. And therefore, I can't move around this space like I moved around my other space. Sometimes it's smaller. Sometimes it's bigger. Sometimes the metrics are just different. But what I am going to do is I'm going to acknowledge that I'm in a new place. Go ahead and try to go to bed and sleep in a place that's new and you haven't unpacked and put up your bed. You're going to try to move through this house like the old one. You got stuff to do. You have work to do. You have unpacking to do. You have redecorating to do. And I'm saying this applies to us in the moments of our life, the moments after everything changes. You have to unpack. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that grace. Understand that what I'm not doing is acting like I'm where I was. I'm in a new place. I'm in a place without, you're in a new place. You're in a place without your spouse. You're in a place without your child. You're in a place without your freedom. You're in a place without your marriage. You're in a place without your money. You're in a new place. Move like you're in a new place. Give yourself the grace of a new place. Give yourself the grace of a new place. So understand that the moment after dictates a new place and a new position. What do we mean by a new position? Not only am I somewhere different, but I'm someone different. Not only am I somewhere different, I'm somewhere different. Why is that so important in the moment after? Is because a lot of times we are holding on to the old you. You know how people say we miss the old Kanye. Kanye have been through so much that there is no old Kanye anymore. You can't, and this is the mistake we make, you can't lose your mother and be the old you. You can't lose your job and your career that you've been working for and be the old you. You can't switch, Mommy Mercy. Y'all have some Mommy Mercy on me. Everything is coming down. That's how I know I'm doing what I got to do, y'all. When the roof comes down, it gets real, okay? The energy moves. So I'm saying that you cannot lose what you lost. You can't endure what you've endured. You can't go through what you've gone through and be the old you. That person is gone. So what you have to do now is you say, hey, new place, new position. I am not only somewhere different in my life, I am someone different in my life, and I can't move out of this moment without that acknowledgement. I can't move out of this moment without keeping that at the forefront of my next motion. I'm someone different. I was a different person before my brother was murdered. I was a different Harmony. I cannot immediately, and those that were there can attest and remember, immediately following his murder, I changed everything up. New job, new house. Because the last thing I'm going to do is try to think I can heal where I was when I'm not there anymore. Because that Harmony 6 years ago had her baby brother. He was going to live a long, prosperous life in her mind. This Harmony that has a different story and a different understanding is not the same person as her. You are not the same person after your divorce. You are a better person. You are a more seasoned person. You are a gone through person. You are a tested person. You've been tested and you've been certified and you have graduated. When you go through something traumatic like that, understand that in the test and in the certification, you graduate to another level of yourself and you can no longer behave or believe as if you were that person. And if you got a new position, think about being promoted at work. Think about being promoted, meaning I was a manager and now I'm the general manager, or I was an employee and now I'm a supervisor. But think about being promoted in your job. In your new position, you can't do cashier things. The manager doesn't have cashier time. Okay, the owner of the business doesn't have janitorial leisures. You run everything. You have overhead. You have different costs. You can't move the way you moved before you were promoted. You can't move the way you move. You can't be up all night when you have a business to run. You can't hang out all night. You can't be affording yourself to soak and let yourself go and let yourself lose more than what you've already lost. You have to get to a point within yourself where you can say, I've been promoted. I'm in a new place and I'm in a new position. When we talk about the moment after, we're talking about just that. I'm in a new place. I'm giving myself grace for a new place. I'm not going to just pick up where I left off. I have unpacking. I have to redecorate. I have to reorganize. Things are different. That's that moment after. It's the moment after. I'm not going to jump back into the dating field. I'm in a new place. I'm not going to just go out here talking to people any type of way. I'm in a new place. I'm not going to just behave the way that I used to behave. I'm in a new place. The moment after is an acknowledgement of a new place, new position. I have a new position. I've been tested and certified to the next level of myself. I went to sleep one way yesterday and I woke up another way today. Because when I went to sleep, I was married. This is for some of us. And you woke up divorced. You went to sleep connected to a circle and you woke up as an individual. You went to sleep with all this money in your bank account and you woke up with a failing business. You woke up somewhere else. And it's calling for you to be someone else. New place, new position. And it's not a bad thing. It feels bad because it's different. It feels bad because you're not familiar with it. But I promise you, if you embrace that moment after it all gets real, what you do in that moment will change how it all shows up for you. So my thing immediately, no, I can't come to your birthday party. My brother was just murdered. I can't. And people would look at me crazy, like he was murdered 6 months ago. You can't come to a party because I am in a new place. And this place requires my deliberate and intentional healing. And what I do right now in these moments will dictate how I heal from this, how I move from this, and how I grow from this. They tell you all the time if you take a medication, please continue to take this medication even if the symptoms no longer are there. That means I'm still healing even when it doesn't look like I'm healing. I'm still recovering when it doesn't necessarily feel like I'm recovering. You get an injury, you get hurt, you put that cast on, that cast sits you down. But there's something that happens that day you take that cast off. You don't take that cast off and you start running through the streets. You take that cast off and you take your time. You make sure it's strong enough. You strengthen it because you're in a new place, in a new position, and I'm not going to act like this didn't happen. Yes, I may look back together. I may be talking again, eating again, socializing again. But trust me, after these pieces got glued back together, this plate was not the same plate. This is not the same plate before the one that got broken. And you might can eat out of it again. But it's been broken and put back together. So it's strong because of what it's been through. It knows what it's capable of. But it's different. It's different. And we embrace that in the moment after. So understand that we charge our challenge to change us. We are not drowning. We decide if the challenge is a cocoon or quicksand. You decide. This happened to me. Is it quicksand or am I cocooning? Then we acknowledge that we're in a new place, in a new position. We don't take old behaviors and old mindsets into a new phase of where we are going. Now we reacquaint ourselves. This is the next point. Reacquaint your reality. We're going to reacquaint our reality. I am new. I have to move newly, renewed. This is different. I am someone else. I can't tell you how many times I will reminisce on the young Harmony and be like, dang, it was nice being her, full of hope, full of trust, full of thoughts about the future. But you know who I like even better? She was dope. She was really cool. A lot of people used to rock with her. But who I like even better is this Harmony. I like her so much better because she still has hope, but she's real. She's smart. She's endured. She's seasoned. She's grown. She is strong. She is bad AF. And I like her. I like her because of what she's gone through and grown through and who she has become. So we can keep trying to be that. That person had its purpose for that time period in your life. But where I'm going, that Harmony can't go. Because that Harmony had a brother. That Harmony had a marriage. That Harmony had this trauma or this abuse. This Harmony had this. This Harmony today, she has power. She has been buried. Like I saw a post that says you can decide if you're being buried or planted. She has been buried and grew up out of it. This is a bomb Harmony. I like this one. I'm saying this one fights back. This one speaks up. This one believes. This one challenges. This one changes. This one is an architect and a magician. I like this one. That one was cool, but I have to reacquaint the reality. And the reality is that this Harmony has been through divorce. This Harmony has lost. This Harmony has gained. This Harmony has forged. This Harmony has believed. I like this person. I like this Neonu. I like this Octavia. Yes, I see y'all. I like this person. Because this one has done work that the old one didn't believe she could do. This one has accomplished things that the old one was way too afraid to try. I'm reacquainting my reality. And in my reality, in this new reality, so here's the moment after, guys. Something very tragic, traumatic, challenging has taken place. And here's the moment after. It's the next moment. I'm charging my challenge to change my life. I'm acknowledging that I'm in a new place and I have a new position and things are new. And in that acknowledgement of that newness, I am going to reacquaint my reality. It is different, y'all, where I am. Where I am, I can't watch certain movies. Where I am, I can't talk about certain things. I can't indulge in certain behaviors because my reality is different. And once I reacquaint my reality, I mean, I'm not tying my old self before I was broken to the new self after I've been put back together. Peace and love. Thank you so much, Ania. I am now saying that I am somewhere else and I have to reacquaint my reality. Allow me, like we spoke about, to reintroduce myself. I am a divorcee, or I have a loved one that is deceased. You are a motherless child or a fatherless child. You are newly an entrepreneur. Whatever has happened, you are new and your reality is new and you have to reacquaint the reality. Don't reacquaint the remembrance. We want to spurse up a memory. Don't spurse up a memory. It puts us back. It makes us go backwards. It stunts us. It keeps us from going where the challenge intended for us to go. We always want to spruce up a memory. Put some water on it and put it in the microwave. I'm not sprucing up the memory because I'm in a new place, in a new position. I'm not that person anymore. I am reacquainting myself with the reality. And in this reality, I may be a single person. And in this reality, I might be a single mother or a single father. And in this reality, I might be a recovering addict. In this reality, you may be a growing and rehabilitating inmate. In this reality, you may be without your child and a healing mother. In this reality, Ashe, thank you, love. In this reality, so I need to reacquaint this reality. And in order to reacquaint this reality, that means, what does that mean? I'm going to reacquaint the reality. What does that mean? I'm acknowledging that I'm changed. I'm acknowledging that things are different. The plate was broken. It's been glued back together. It works still, but it's not the same plate. What am I doing now? Well, how do I reacquaint? I take care of myself. A plate that used to be broken and that was glued back together will not hold water. You can't put water on me. You ain't gonna fill me up with water. Because I'm a plate that's been put back together. I have a new meaning. I have a new mission. You can't do things that you could do with me because my reality is reacquainted. And I need to introduce you to this new person. And this new person, you can't say and do. You can't call and ask. You can't come and be. I'm new. I'm in a new place and I'm in a new position. So in this new and reacquainting myself, it requires two things: that I take care of myself and that I get into a healing process. I take care of myself and then I get into a healing process. I am not going to let my world fall apart. Sit there and look at the crumbles, sitting in the dust of it, and try to figure out how can I go back. That is not going to happen. I need to figure out now, what is it that I need to do to move forward? And in this forward motion, I am going to be taking care of myself. It means that I cannot, like we said, I can't be moving in these streets like I was before I got hit. I walk differently. Some people get a cane. Some people get physical therapy. Some people, yes, I got hit. I've been hit. That divorce hit me. That relationship hit me. That death of that loved one, it hit me. That failing that class, it hit me. Losing that job, that hit me. And I have a new way that I move. I have a new way that I think. And the first thing I can do to reacquaint my reality, embrace my new self, and move me into the place that this person now is going to be moving in. Because my future is equipped for this person. Everybody's trying to be who they used to be. You want to weigh what you used to weigh. You want to do what you used to do. You want to know who you used to know. But your future is being equipped for this person. And then the next person you are in the next 10 years. Where the level that you're getting to is equipped for your growth. It's equipped for your growth, not for where you were, right? It is equipped for where you are growing, not for where you have stopped and fallen. Nobody is, come on, y'all. We are parents, right? And a lot of us as parents, we know that we have set our children, we have plans for our children. But what we have for them, I'm going to give you this car. I'm going to help you with this apartment. We're going to help them, right? Because I definitely have an adult child now and an adult bonus child. And I'm saying the way we have to parent now is that we have it for you. But we got to make room for the bumps and bruises. Because the one that graduated from high school is not going to be the person that gets this apartment. The person that walked up out of that situation is not going to be the person that gets this money that we got saved for you. It's going to be the challenges that change you, that you grow through, that get to what it is that we have promised for you. And that's how life works for us. So we're going to be taking care of ourselves when we reacquaint our reality. We are making sure, what is it I have to do? Go to bed earlier? Set up a plan, talk to someone, going to get therapy, but I'm not going to act like there's not a reacquaintance, that I need to sit and reevaluate myself, that I need to sit and refocus and reflect with myself, that I'm not going to have to sit and find out what is the new position, where is the new place, and what does it require? Where am I now? Reacquaint your reality. It has changed. Stop trying to go back. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. I joke with my girlfriends all the time. We talk about dieting. I say them high school diets do not work for them. That Harmony in high school did not have one child, one responsibility, or one worry. I can't diet the way I used to back then. I got too much to do now. I'll die. I'll pass out with all that I have on my back. Stop trying to use old methods for the new you. Stop trying to go back for the new you. When we say Sankofa, it means to go back and get whatever it is that you need. Go back and get whatever it is that you need to hold on to and move forward. Move forward. So when we talk about reacquainting our reality, get into your healing process. I'm going to use this example for this. We're going to get up out of this point because we are going long on this moment. We're going to get up out of this point, but we're going to use, I'm going to use this analogy. Think about when you come in, not you. Think about when someone comes into the hospital, cold blue, right? The coding happens, something traumatic. Someone isn't breathing, someone is unconscious, right? Traumatic. You come into the hospital, and then goes this whole, ambulance brings you in. You got all the doctors, you got all the lights going off, you got a whole team of people that comes. Ask me how I know. Team of people, the chaplain, the social workers. All of these people come for the revitalization, okay? So let's say there was a car accident, bam, someone is hurt, they are unconscious, they get flown in, and it's chaos. The moment after the chaos, okay, because that's the emergency. You get that phone call, that divorce becomes final. You get sentenced, you get diagnosed, right? That's the chaos, right? It's all around. It's lights, it's people, it's nails. You can't even think, okay? And then you get revitalized. I mean, you don't die from it. You feel bad, horrible even, but you didn't die from it. That means you wake up the next day. You didn't die. I mean, I woke up from that divorce. I woke up from the death of that loved one. I woke up, they woke up in that jail cell. You still woke up the next day, even though it felt like you went through hell. You woke up. So now you're in the next moment, the moment after. What happens? Now you survived the car crash, but you're here. So what does that mean? What happens next? Do you just put on your clothes? Oh, I'm live. You put your clothes on and go back to your life? Can y'all pick me up from the hospital? No. You get into a horrible car crash. Not you, per se. Someone gets into a horrible car crash. They go through all of the chaos, and then they wake up the next day in the hospital bed. What happens then? A treatment plan comes into place. This is what I say by take care of yourself and get yourself into a healing process. Get you a team. Don't try to rehabilitate yourself after a car wreck. After a collision in your life, you want to just try to get up and walk out of the hospital, take things out of your arm, and no. You're going to take your time. You're going to get you a speech therapist. You're going to get you a physical therapist. You're going to get you a chiropractor and rehabilitation. You're going to get you a therapist to help with the emotional trauma of getting back behind a wheel. You're going to get help to revitalize yourself and get back on your feet to face your new normal. And then you're going to strengthen yourself. So when you're back to walking and you're back to moving and you're back to talking, you don't just go back to work. You go back out on that track and you start running. So those muscles that were damaged get stronger. Right? So you never find yourself in a predicament that you were in again, or so that you make yourself better. I have given birth to 5 people. And I am still rehabilitating my body to this day from giving birth to 5 people. And the youngest one is almost 4 years old. And I still have to heal my body from what it's gone through. Years ago, my oldest child is 18 years old. But because of what I've gone through, my process is long. It's going to probably be 18 years long or however much longer. But what I do know is that I rehabilitate or I reacquaint my reality. I'm not going to be doing things that I used to do before. No, I can't just do that. I used to get up and jog, without all of the help, not the brace, not the thing. I take care of myself now. I know I have this injury here. I know I've done this. I know I've done that. I move accordingly. I get strong. I strengthen myself and I rehabilitate myself. I'm saying that I take care of myself and my new reality and I put myself in a healing process. I in no way wake up the day after the biggest tragedy of my life. I in no way wake up and move forward like nothing happened. I no way move forward like I don't have some intentional rehabilitation to do or rehabilitating to do with myself. So this moment, I'm going to try to get quickly out of this moment, guys. This moment is longer than any moment has been. I appreciate those of you for sticking and staying in there with me throughout these moments. So we're going to sew it up. Keep the moment. So we've woken up in our moment. We're in our moment. The moment after. We're in a new reality. Something very traumatic has taken place. We're a new person. We're not who we were yesterday. And this person, you're waking up without your mother. You're waking up without your father. It's a new world. You got a new life without the existence of where things were. And you have to decide, how am I going to move forward? We're going to recap real quick how we moved forward. We talked about challenging. We're going to charge the challenge to change our lives. We talked about acknowledging that we're in a new position and a new place. We talked about reacquainting our reality, understanding where we are now, embracing it and moving forward. Lastly, we're going to keep the moments that matter. Okay, so we're going long, y'all. Bear with me, because this is one of the most important messages that I want to have for you in regards to the moment after, as it pertains to grief, as it pertains to sadness, as it pertains to depression. Stay with me for a second. Keep the moments that matter from your past. Okay? The moments, my baby brother is the one that said to me, Harmony, it only takes one moment. He said that to me and it has changed my life. I couldn't even embrace it until years after he was gone to really be able to incorporate it in my life in the way that I needed it to. But it works now. I'm saying that you take those things that do matter because everything you went through was not in vain. You went through what you went through for a reason. You don't take the things that you don't need into your future, but what does matter, right? That lesson from your mother, that lesson from your grandmother, that lesson from those people, those skills that you picked up, they're good. Be good with them. Do not throw out the baby with the bathwater. No. We're going to leave that tragedy because it happened. But when I'm going through, before I leave, think about when you're moving, guys, because I'm in a moving process and I know all about it. When you're moving, you're thinking about what you can give away to someone else, what you can throw away, and what you need to keep for yourself. That's what we're doing when we're moving. And I'm saying when you move from this traumatic place in your life to your new place, you're going through the motions in that way. What is it that I can give away to someone else? What lessons, what experiences, what wisdom did I pick up that someone else will need? What is it that I need to throw away? I don't need none of that, right? That putting your hands on me, lying to me, manipulating, exploitation. I don't need it. I'm throwing that away. I'm not taking any of those feelings that I developed that were falsely developed in this. I'm not taking none of those in with me. But I'm throwing those away. And then, lastly, what is it that I need to keep? What is it that I'm always going to be able to use? What parts of me are always going to be a part of who I am and I'll always be able to utilize and need and have? What parts? So we're going into when we say keep the moments that you need. That's exactly what we're talking about. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you lost things in that previous moment, the tragedy, when we're talking about the next moment, if you lost things, if you things were taken from you, if you keep what you needed and you rebuild and move forward on the things that are the most important, you'll have what you need when the Creator gives it back. I'm going to tell you something, guys, and I'm going to promise that's going to happen in your life if you stick in the process the way you need to stick in there, no matter how hard it gets. The Creator's going to give it all back. This is the thing. You're going through it to develop and grow. You don't serve a cruel Creator. Not cruel and heartless. Not just wanting to see us suffer. It's coming back. It's all coming back to you. Now, stay with me. I don't say it's coming back like, hey, your dead loved one is going to walk through the door. Your husband or wife is going to take you back. Your child is going to be back in where you need them to be. What I mean is that if you take what it is that you need, that means the most, you'll have the foundation when the Creator rebuilds. Not right now, baby. Give me a second. When the Creator rebuilds your foundation, when your Creator rebuilds on your life what you lost, you'll have a foundation to hold it. So are you getting that marriage back? No, but you will get a marriage back. You will get the marriage that you need for your life, for your destiny, for your purpose. Will that child come back? No, but you will get an exchange in your motherhood of greatness and your fatherhood of growth and strength and development. Are you going to get that money back? No, but you will build a financial, stainless, impenetrable foundation of finance and stability and resource. I'm saying, but the only way it's coming back is if you have a foundation that the Creator can build on. Creator is not going to give it all back to a faulty foundation, to no quicksand. We're not setting a mansion on quicksand, guys. I'm saying that take and keep what it is that you needed into your next moment. What is it that I can take back to rebuild this foundation as I move forward in my next moment? And that the Creator can build on, because the Creator is going to give it back. Mark my words. We're not talking no creepy sci-fi things. We're not talking about something supernatural unless supernatural is what you need to believe. What I'm saying is the Creator is going to restore you. The Creator is going to bring restoration and rebuild what it is that you need and what it is that you have to have for your destiny and your purpose. You're going to have it. But what I promise is that you are going to have that foundation. So go back and take what it is that you need to keep for your new foundation. Give away what someone else may need and throw away what no one needs at all. All right, so this is a super long moment. I want to thank you all for sitting through. This moment after means so much to me because we're speaking about grief on all levels. So much grieving, so much when it comes to sadness, so much when it comes to painful transition. And I did not want my moments to be as long as they are right now, but I really want us to get this, hold this, keep this. And the reason why is because I am seeing us suffer from that transition point between what was and what is to come. And it all comes back to this moment of what is. So I'm saying that moment after it all falls apart, there is an intentional process. That is a powerful moment. Use that moment. Use that energy. Use that momentum. Use where you are. That moment after is an extremely powerful moment before. The moment after is a powerful before it all gets better moment. So let's take that moment and utilize it the best way we can. Remember that we are working on Moment members in person. Get your Moment member inquiries in. Join me next Saturday at 10 for another Moment of Harmony. Thank you so much for all of your love and your patience through this very long moment. But I love you and I'm grateful. And I pray we are getting those healing moments that we need. Thank you so very much. And I'll see you next week.